From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, November 12th, 2015. Silver is trading at $14.33 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,083 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $329. Antiwar.com reports thousands of Afghans rallied around the presidential palace in Kabul on Wednesday, slamming what they describe as government inaction in the Zabul province, where the Taliban has dominated for years and where in recent days the Islamic State has set up shop, beheading a number of Shiite civilians. President Ashraf Ghani gave a speech on live television amid the demonstrations, promising to bring the perpetrators to justice, but the rally continued to grow, with some demonstrators finally forcing their way into the presidential palace past heavy security. Afghan troops opened fire on the demonstrators, with most of them firing in the air to try to scare them off, but at least 7 protesters were wounded, including 2 young girls who the health ministry said were trampled in a panic. Ghani later sought to blame the Islamic State for the demonstrations as well, claiming the group is trying to create division in Afghanistan by attacking the religious minority. Attacks on the Shiite Hazaras are common in both Afghanistan and Pakistan among Islamist forces, and generally used as a recruiting tool to drum up support from similar-minded people. In 1999, Daryl W. Perry began a search for traditional values, which led him down a path to the ideas of liberty. He tells the story in A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty. Of the book, Dr. Brian Sovereign says, "Sometimes it's funny, and sometimes I think it's crazy, but it's always authentic." Find A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty by Daryl W. Perry on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, or visit arebelsjourney.com. UPI reports students across the country will supposedly take to the streets on Thursday to protest rising higher education debt and call for free tuition at public universities. The so-called Million Student March is expected to draw students from some 100 colleges and universities nationwide to demand tuition-free public universities and colleges, the cancellation of all student debt, and a $15 per hour minimum wage for all campus workers. Organizer Keely Mullen, a student at Northeastern University in Boston who expects to graduate with $150,000 in debt, said the day is meant to focus on political and economic change. Mullen said, "Our country has abandoned its responsibility to educate future generations. Today we are dealing with a curriculum that reflects a corporate agenda, outrageous university tuitions and fees, massive student debt, and a K-12 public education system under attack by budget cuts, charter schools, standardized tests, and the school-to-prison pipeline. I feel that not only are these issues interconnected, they are rooted to our history of military and political aggression. We cannot stand by any longer while our education system is destroyed from within. It's time to take action." Student organizations across the country announced the march on social media. It's unclear how many students will actually participate. At $1.2 trillion, federal student loan debt is the largest source of consumer debt in the United States outside of mortgages. The average student loan debt is $30,000. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports national seafood chain Joe's Crab Shack has dipped its toes into fresh water with a test program to remove tipping from 18 of its more than 130 restaurants. The company said no timeline is in place to implement the plan nationally, but the test comes as a nascent movement has been launched to remove a more than century-old tradition of tipping in U.S. restaurants. At the test locations, Joe's has paid some workers a minimum of $12 per hour, but did not specify how much workers made previously. The Houston-based company raised menu prices by less than 20% to compensate for the higher labor cost. Critics say the tipping system allows restaurants to pay some staff a pittance and puts the burden of labor cost largely on consumers as opposed to employers. The company said the move to test a removal of tipping will lead to higher fixed hourly wages for its employees, which should help retain staff. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.